welcome to yet another edition of the Youth Dialogue. I am your host, Diana Basonko. This program is exclusively brought to you by QTV. But before I go any further, I will just give you a recap of last week's show. Last week, I hosted the youth representatives for the Commonwealth Youth Forum right here to talk about the Gambia's return to the Commonwealth as well as the effective participation of youth in the Commonwealth Forum in UK. We are going to the polls May 12th. So why not have youth representatives of each mayoral candidate? Today, I bring you the youth representatives of each mayoral candidate to talk about their policies and to make few clarifications here and there. But before I go any further, I will just allow them to introduce themselves. Team Bakari, we'll start with you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure coming here. And my name is Dabah Malik. I am head of media communication and PR for Team Bakari. Thank you.
PDOIS.
Thank you very much for having me on this platform. I am Kemes Ansane, Media Officer, PDOIS.
GDC.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Abdullah Cham, the Deputy Secretary General, GDC.
UDP.
Hello, my name is Momar Mastal. I'm an independent supporter of Talib Bensouda.
APRC.
I am Mutlamin Baji, representing APRC candidate.
I welcome you all, and I believe we are going to have a very good one. Team Bakari, can you please introduce to us your candidate? Tell us about Bakari Baji. Who is Bakari Baji?
Bakari is a young person that have spent basically all his career working for young people, women and children, and across the country. And he's somebody that is development oriented, and because of that, we thought it was important that we have somebody that comes from the developmental sector to spearhead KMC, because if you look at the work the mayor or the municipality itself is supposed to do, it has so much to do with the grassroots, especially the communities. So we thought because of the 17 years he has spent as a development worker, working in the communities, that experience would help, and that's what KMC needs right now.
Okay, PDOIS, tell us about Adam Abba.
Thank you very much. Adam Abba is born and brought up Serekunda, who have spent all his life in the tourist industry, working with the youths in terms of developing their skills in terms of the tourist industry area, since we all know that the tourist industry area is dominated by the youths, where he went further to create, which I hate to say, which we call the bombsers, but I don't prefer calling them the bombsers, but I see them people, who are trying to, earn some living in terms of the tourist industry. He developed the tourist board whereby the youths are employed. He went up to an extent that created training for them, vast knowledge in terms of tourism with master degrees in terms of management development and so many things. He has traveled whole of Africa, trying to, the knowledge he have in the Department of Management, putting it across West Africa, since he believes that the development of Africa cannot go if only one sector of Africa is developed and the others are not developed, and he have traveled whole of the country, giving that knowledge to the people. So that's little that I can tell you about Adama, but further you will know more about Adama.
Yes, we would also like to know about Panjai Girigara. Who is Panjai Girigara?
Okay, thank you very much. Panjai Girigara was born in Banjul, and his father was a very renowned figure in Banjul, and who was very supportive to the community of Banjul. So, being brought up from that family, he also, put his foot to where his father put it. So, and then he grew up in that way, and after completion of his educational career, he ventured into business, and later became a very successful businessman. And I can say today, Panjai Girigara has employed hundreds of youths throughout the country. So still now he's a businessman, and Panjai Girigara has been somebody who is very particular in youth empowerment. For that reason, you can see he employed over 150 youths all over the country, and he also was very active in fighting to see that Gambia, we got what we call democracy today. And Panjai was also helping almost all the opposition political parties which were in existence during the APRC regime.
Okay.
So I think he's the right person, and he's very, very developmentally oriented.
Yes,
and he is here to help the youths to go further in their
we will get back to that
Thank you.
concerning his vision. Yes, we will get back to that. So I would also like to know about Rambo Jata. Who is Rambo Jata, briefly?
Thank you very much. Rambo Usman Jata is a native of Bakau who have gone through a lot of development activities, who have carried a lot of development activities in Bakau. He was a councillor for 10 years. And before being a councillor, he has also served the community of Bakau by building a nursery school to the orphans, which is giving scholarship. Up to date, 1,000 kids are getting scholarship in the nursery school, up to date, since 2004. And he also built, has also fenced the garden, the women's garden in Bakau, as some of his achievements in Bakau. He has also provided materials worth $3 million to the health sector, into the health facility in Bakau, and also provided a borehole to the women's garden. He also provided so many things, for Bakau, which, the list goes on.
I guess we will get back to his achievements in a short while. Yes, tell us about Talib Bensouda. Who is Talib Bensouda?
Talib Ahmed Bensouda is a young, prominent Gambian businessman and philanthropist. Talib Ahmed Bensouda has been involved in business since the age of 18 in Canada, where he used to work with the Toronto Municipal Council and the Mississauga Municipal Council to send materials back to Gambia to help develop KMC through schools and other materials. He moved back to Gambia and started working in Takaful Insurance and was instrumental in growing Takaful Insurance into one of the largest insurance companies in the Gambia and the first Islamic insurance company in the Gambia. From there, he went on to start up his own private business, Safaro. You may have heard of some of the brands that they distribute in Gambia, including Baby Mariam diapers and Ami Tomato. A very successful business where he's employing over 40 to 60 staff, majority of them women. And he's also the founder of GamSense, which is a charitable organization that is involved in building community projects for community development in Gambia. So they have done school renovations, they've done market rehabilitations, waste management projects all over the country. That's who he is in short.
Okay, yes, thank you so much for that. Yes, Tim Bakari, why do you think that the people of KMC should vote for Bakari Baji? What is special about Bakari Baji? What specific qualities does he possess to take KMC forward, as well as his vision?
I think Tim Bakari is giving the voters of KMC an alternative, because we all understand and know since independence, we have political parties that have dominated our local government councils, our municipalities. And for 53 years, there is nothing that is tangible that you can lay your hands and say, this is development that councils have brought to the people. And for us, we thought it was important that we come together as an independent candidate, whereby we'll have a vision that will focus more on the people than going through a political party and be spearheading the agendas of the political party. Because if you look at the council, usually what happens is, when a party gets into council, they transform the council into a political bureau whereby party supporters goes there every day. They use council funds to cook lunch, drink attire, do whatever they want to do. Even the technical staffs of the council finds it very difficult to do their daily works. Okay, those citizens who live within the municipality and wants to come to the council for service delivery, most of the time they don't get access to officials because of the crowdiness of the place. So we thought it was time that we bring in an alternative for the people, and that is run a campaign that is for the people and by the people. And if we get in there, we'll transform the council, instead of being a political bureau, into a service delivery. So, and another thing why people should vote for Bakari is, this is a young guy that went through the council as a nominated member of council. I heard people say Yankuba Kweli nominated him, but that's not the case. Under the Local Government Act, the mayor of KMC is dictated by the law to nominate a youth rep who will come and represent the young people of the council. But he doesn't pick. What he does is he writes to the National Youth Council, and the National Youth Council will call all the youth groups within the municipality for them to identify.
So you're saying that Bakari Baji was nominated by the National Youth Council?
Bakari went there on behalf of the National Youth Council representing the young people of the KMC. And despite his age at that time, they gave him to head one of the most influential committees of the council, and that is the Finance Council Committee. And it was during that period that they transformed, the council was able to build three markets, transformed Charles Jau from a junior school to a high school, renovated Serakunda market. And even though at that period, and you can go and check, it's 2008 to 2013, even though refuse collection was not that frequent, but at least KMC then was managing to go around certain communities to pick up trash. But since then, we have seen what has become of the council. Is because politicians are there, and we all know politicians. They do what grows the party, but most of the time they don't focus on development.
Yes, you talked about finance, and there's this here and there push and pull on the table that it's obvious that at that time there are a lot of speculations that there were embezzlement as well as corruption. So Bakari Baji, you said, was responsible for finance. So what changes do you think Bakari Baji can do now that he could not do before, considering the allegations of embezzlement and corruption?
Now, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of embezzlement in our governance systems from independence to date. Even with the current government, it is happening.
Okay.
Yeah? You need to understand one thing also. When you head a committee, because the way the local government act is, and that is why, for me, I think there needs to be a reform. The CEO is the one that is responsible for the daily activities of functioning of the council. The mayor is more of like overseeing the council itself, but if you look at the daily works, it's done by the CEO. And who appoints the CEO? The Ministry of Local Government and Land. So which means the mayor has no influence over the CEO.
Okay, yes,
Yeah?
we will.
So when he heads the council, you can go and verify. Go to KMC and check 2008 to 2013, the markets they've built, the transformation of the Charles Jau into a high school was done within these periods. And you can verify. So for me, I cannot say there was no leakages or corruption or whatever in the council. That I cannot attest to. Because that's what I believe. I believe up to today there are. But when at that level, he has not that much influence. But now that he was inside and he has seen the way things happen, when you go outside, you have another perspective. And there are a lot of things that he think he can bring in and make reforms within the council.
Yes, we will get back to that. Yes, can you just give me a reply to his statements here and there, because I saw you not agreeing with what he is saying. So can you just please reply to that, and after that give me the vision of Rainbow Jatta. Why should KMC give the vote to Rainbow Jatta? A reply and we will go to that.
First of all, I want to tell you I was a councillor since 2002 to date. When Bakari was nominated, I was there as a councillor. Okay, Bakari is nominated by the mayor, not this National Youth Council. Okay, I want to set the record straight. He was nominated by the mayor because the act has empowered the mayor to nominate 7 people of different categories. No, you don't know. I'm telling you, I'm a councillor for 15 years.
Yes,
So
we
you
will
cannot
get
tell
back
me the
to
act.
you. We will get back to you, Team
I've
Bakari.
been a councillor
We will
for
get
15
back.
years, and the act is what I work with.
Go to the national.
Yes,
My
we will
brother,
get back.
listen,
We will get back to that.
Ask Bakari, but he will tell you who I am in council.
We will get back
You
to
don't know.
that. Yes.
You don't know what you are saying. So you
Let's
listen,
calm
you
down.
you.
I need.
You don't know the act.
Excuse me.
No, it's 1/5 of the
Yes.
elected members.
Let's maintain order as much as we can. Majority counts. Thank you. Majority counts.
When he was
We will
talking, I
get
was
back to
listening.
you. You will give him
So you listen,
his
let me
reply.
talk.
Yes. Thank you.
And I will tell you, when Bakari was the chair of the finance committee, I was co-chairing the finance committee.
Yes.
Because Bakari did not have time to sit in council. No, I'm not angry.
Yes.
I'm responding to what you are
We
saying.
will get back
because
to
you're
you.
making allegations that are not correct. And I want to rectify, I put the record straight. Because I was a councillor then. So I am more privileged than you to know what was happening in council.
Okay.
When I'm also, in fact, that's the reason why even I was heading the finance committee.
Okay.
After when Bakari was there, I co-chaired the finance. When Bakari left, I chaired the finance committee up to when I left council. In the development that you're talking about, you see, it is general council that approves any project that is implemented by council. And the CEO is answerable to general council. that takes decisions that are implemented by council.
But were the projects put forward by Bakari Baji?
No.
The achievements that he
No.
just listed?
None achievement have been put forward by Bakari Baji as a councillor.
Okay.
Because he was representing the young people, remember that.
Okay.
And we are representing our wards. And we design our project proposals, which are submitted to council through a plan, an action plan.
Okay.
And that is the plan which is implemented as in council. And council have developed a 5-year strategic plan.
Okay.
And that plan, out of the 5-year strategic plan, we have also developed a risk management plan. We have also developed a financial manual that guides the operations of council. We also developed a lot of instruments in council. Okay?
Okay.
So I am telling you that the nomination of any member of council is the prerogative of the mayor. As invested to him, these are powers given to him by an act of parliament. And the act of parliament has given him to nominate, the opportunity to nominate up to 7. When I say 7, he got to nominate 1/5 of the elected people, members of council.
Okay, yes. I guess that reply is enough.
And the reason
why? What is the reason why
Rambo,
people should vote for Rambo Jata? What is the vision of Rambo Jata?
Rambo has a vision, one, because Rambo have been into community work prior to becoming a councillor, and Rambo have been supporting the development of the people of his community by providing services to them. He has established his own company that he was using his resources to support the community, which I know Scantos. That's his own company, Scantos. And then he has done a lot of projects in Bakau. And we believe he has developed a manifesto which is going to be launched. And I know, because I worked with him as a councillor, and I know the potential he has, I know the capacity he has, and I'm privileged to know all the candidates that are running for the mayoral election. I am privileged to know all of them, and I know their capacity. I'm not here talking about because I'm APRC. I know every councillor, every aspiring candidate who is running for the mayor. And I believe some of them are even giving studies that are not correct. Yes, when you talk about the finances, some of them are talking about council's budget is about 19 million, others are talking about 90 million. They don't know. You see, he said councils, in his introduction, he said councils, for the past 53 years, well, they didn't do anything but they are run by parties. It's a wrong concept. He talks about markets. He talks about projects. Who did that? Is it not a mayor who is from a political party?
Okay.
It is.
Yes.
So political parties have more vision and they are more organized than even independents. And remember, if you don't belong to any political party, you want to be a mayor of any council, you might find it difficult because the councillors are coming from political parties. And they take decisions in council that are implemented by the mayor, both the mayor and the CEO.
Yes, we will get back to that. Yes. Talib Bensouda, why should people in KMC trust Talib Bensouda? Why should the votes be given to Talib Bensouda? What is the vision of Talib Bensouda?
Thank you very much. I, for one, being a resident of KMC all of my life, I never really ascribed to any political party before, and took the time to study all the offerings of the different candidates which I had access to before taking my decision to support Talib Bensouda. Even though I know Talib Bensouda personally, and I do know a lot of the other candidates personally, there's a few reasons why I really think that Talib Bensouda is the most capable, experienced, and proven man for the job. I'll give you a few of them now. Yeah. Apart from his integrity, his foresight, and his track record in Gambia and abroad, Talib Bensouda has also demonstrated through his manifesto and his plans a very meticulous approach to problem solving of KMC. Most of the candidates have agreed and attested that the administration of KMC, the municipality itself, needs an overhaul. It needs proper governance structures, and it needs to create an administration that is not only functional, but accountable. Talib Bensouda is the only candidate that I have seen who has built that from ground up, demonstrated in institutions that are up and running today in Gambia, using proper governance structures. And if you go to his private business, Talib Bensouda, as soon as he started politics, left his private business. The general manager is a young lady, and she's running that company without Talib Bensouda's input, which means he was able to build the company from scratch to a place that when he leaves, that place is running in a trustworthy, and productive manner. That's what we need in KMC. We need to have somebody who not only has vision, but also understands how to build systems, systems of accountability, systems of management, systems of transparency, so that anybody tomorrow, Sibir, when there's a new mayor in KMC, they're walking into an infrastructure that is already set up for the betterment of all. Okay. In Talib's vision, one of the main things, apart from all the other infrastructural projects that he wants to implement, apart from all the revenue and waste, the waste management things that he wants to implement, he wants to also look at the legislative side of the act that governs the KMC, the municipality. There's a few things that are hindering the autonomy of the council at the moment in the act. And Talib is the only candidate that I have seen who's done enough research and looked at what it takes to actually create the autonomy that the administration of the KMC needs to be effective. Those things are all in his manifesto, and a lot of the other candidates have sort of glazed over those realities, and that shows me that this man is more prepared.
Yes, we will get back to you. I will want you to make few clarifications here and there.
Yes.
Yes, we will get back to you. Yes, PDOIS, I would like to know the reason why Gambia, KMC in particular, should vote for Adama Barrow. What is so special about him?
Actually, Adama Barrow, he was not even really vying for the position of KMC, but it was due to a demand from a youth action group in KMC who took it upon themselves to approach Adama Barrow, going through his track records and what he have done in the industry of tourism. And in regards to the employment of the youth, they take it upon themselves. They say that actually there's a mayoral election coming, and they have checked and they have found out that he's the most suitable candidate for the position of KM. And they decided to consult him, and he told them that actually I have to talk to my family and I have to sit with my friends before coming with a decision. And during his consultation with families and friends, come on, the youths have trust and confidence in you, and I think it is your responsibility at least to answer to their call. This is why Adama is vying for the position, and why they are doing this.
What is the name of the group? The group of youth that
it's
went
KMC
to Adama
Youth.
Barrow?
It's KMC Youth Action Group.
KMC Youth Action Group
yeah.
approached him.
Approach him.
Okay.
Yes. So they told him that definitely he have chosen him at least to vie for the position of KMC. After consultation, he accepted because based on his track record, what he has done in the industry, the tourist industry, the record is there. He have worked for those institutions for almost 25 to 30 years and having a comfortable life. He could have just said, come on, let me just sit down and enjoy with my family, because both internationally, both Gambia and abroad, he have been working there. But he said that this is a demand and I should do it. And all this is based on the trust and the confidence and the honesty that he have when he was working with those industries. Okay. Because he can raise his hand from today after having all those managerial positions. He employ 120 or 150 or 200 people. All their salary passed through him, everything. But no single Gambian can raise his hand and say that there was mismanagement of funds or Adama has embezzled the funds of those people. That shows you that the trust and confidence that they have. And KMC, the first thing that we need in KMC is transparency and accountability. Because for the previous years, people don't know, and it's clearly stated in the Act of KMC that, every September, the council should come with a plan, and in that plan, it should be visible, it should be published to everybody, newspapers and everything, so that people will know definitely this is what has been done on our behalf, and any development that has to come or any fund that they have, like the budget of the KMC, should be published to everybody, and any project it has to go, people has to know, so that tomorrow nobody will think of that maybe it was not put into development, because you see people accusing there is no development because they don't know where their money is going. But with Adama, you will have this transparency, you will have this accountability, and that's the most important in anything, because KMC is not a small organ, it's a very big organ. So this is why I am calling on every Gambian to vote for Adama, and when you put Adama in KMC, you will know that you are safe and KMC are safe.
Yes, I will get back to you for a few clarifications. Yes, GDC, tell us about Panjai Girigera. Why should KMC vote for Panjai Girigera? What is that special element there? Okay,
thank you very much once again, my sister. I would start by saying Panjai Girigara, as I earlier said in the introduction, is a wealthy businessman who have spent most of his time in the business sector. And Panjai, I must make it clear, is not a politician. but we as a political party, GDC, decided to bring him on board to stand for the mayorship because of the qualities he possesses as a man and also as a responsible individual. Because Panjai Girigara has established a very powerful business here in the Gambia and abroad. And is working with a lot of youths and women all over the country, and also employing youths all over the country and women. So therefore, we feel that he is the right person who can change the KMC.
Okay.
And by saying that, I can give you some evidence why I stand firm to say that Panjai is a very visionary man. Because at first he said he is coming to lay a foundation for KMC. And we all believe that if you want a very solid house, you must get a very solid foundation. So Panjai will lay a foundation that even if he leaves, that foundation, no matter whoever comes, will start from that foundation and take it to another level. And Panjai is not interested in the salary of the council. He said it in his manifesto that if voted into office, his salary will be donated to the orphans. And that is what he will stick into when voted into office. Panjai is someone who is ready to introduce a new tax system in the KMC. Because we all know today, many people are running away from paying tax because of the poor tax system which is in the KMC.
How does he intend to do that?
So if Panjai is voted into the council, the first thing he will do is to reduce the tax. Because if you see people are running away from paying tax, because probably the taxes are very high. But if you reduce the tax into a level that every average Gambian can afford to pay tax, and obviously they will all pay. So that is one of the, one of the areas that Panjai will focus on.
Yes, the reduction of taxes. How does he intend to do that exactly?
Yes.
Considering that as a tax-based economy at some point,
yeah.
How is he going to put everything together to satisfy the holes that are there when taxes are reduced in the country?
Okay, thank you very much. I think in that is very simple. Because Panjai is an administrator. Okay. Because he is running a business which, the finance of that business supersede the finance of the council. So obviously, Panjai is someone who is very, very conscious when it comes to finance. He knows how finance works, how you can, reduce the tax, and at the end of the day, it will not affect the council. So in that case, I am very convinced that at the end of the day, when Panjai is voted into office, that will never be a problem to reduce the tax. Because looking at the tax system in the council, there are certain, small-scale businesses. You don't need to, bother them with that much of tax. Because looking at the profit they earn at the end of the, the day is very minimal. So obviously, if you reduce the tax for them, it will be very, very comfortable. It will make them be more, more involved in what they do rather than discouraging them. Okay. Because today we have seen, because of the tax system, some few, small scale businesses, they will, even decide to close their business, not to continue because of the tax system. So Panjai is someone who will make sure in that particular area, the taxes are reduced, to the comfort of the people of the municipality. Okay. Because remember, you as a mayor, you are responsible, you are representing the council. Therefore, you have to find ways and means to make life easy for the people you are representing. Yes, okay, yes. And also to come again,
we will get back to that.
Panjai is someone, can you allow me to conclude?
We will get back
Panjai
to that.
is someone who have been supporting opposition parties because Panjai is somebody who believes in a peaceful democratic change. So I've said it earlier here, he was always supporting opposition parties financially to bring what we call, not all the parties.
Yes,
I know,
yes, we will get back to that.
He was supporting political parties to bring a peaceful democratic change.
Yeah, we will make follow-up on that.
For that reason, Panjai decided to stand for the GDC because he believes that GDC is the right party with the right structures to guide this country, to the better, to the betterment that we are looking for.
Thank you so
So
much.
that is why
Yes,
Panjai came
we will
to
get
join
back
the
to that.
GDC.
Yes, Panjai Girigara, in an interview with the mayor's podium, Alaji Mane, he said that the coalition government, they got a member of the UDP as president. And they want to make sure that the dictatorship that PPP put on the table does not continue. And they believe that if UDP is elected as mayor to run the KMC, that is what we will experience. So what is your take on that?
I think that these sort of political statements are distractions from what are the real issues in KMC.
Yeah.
I don't think that KMC should be highly politicized. I think that we have to look at KMC as a going concern for the country. We all live in KMC. Whether you're APRC, GDC, PPP, you have rubbish to pick up. You have sewage to take care of. And we're looking for a candidate who is not here to politicize their issues, but tell us young people what they're here to do for us. So for me personally, my main thing is not to pay attention to that kind of noise, because it distracts from what are the real issues. I feel that a forum like this, especially with young people here to discuss issues, should avoid that kind of discussion, those political jabs.
Okay.
Personally, thank you.
Yes, so what is your take on that? Do you think having UDP as mayoral candidates will bring some form of dictatorship?
Well, actually, I'm not in a better position to discuss about that, because that is an own opinion of Panjai Girigara. But me speaking as a GDC representative and sitting here in the capacity of a secretary of the GDC, I believe that GDC respects every political party, irrespective of your own philosophy or whatsoever. What we want to say is we bring every Gambian together for the betterment of the Gambia. Because in the GDC, what we believe is politics come and go, but Gambia remains. And what is important is to bring in someone who is definitely going to transform KMC to be a better living place for the people of KMC. In that, I would say, in my opinion, Panjai did not say bringing UDP will bring dictatorship in the council. But we need what we call check and balance in every democratic state. If there is no check and balance, what happens is all the powers are given to one political party. And that can influence certain decisions which are not to the best interest of the population. But here, if we have GDC as a very, as a very good political party with very, responsible people, I think sometimes we may be friendly with the UDP, but sometimes we may be very hard on them if we see that this is not to the best interest of the Gambians. So that is why I'm urging the people of the Gambia, let us not always give all political powers to one political party. That is not helpful, because at the end of the day, they might not be held accountable. But I think, in my own opinion, Panjai was not saying UDP, giving the seat to UDP will necessarily mean UDP will be dictators. But rather, they will be given more powers, because looking at the parliamentary, they have the highest number of seats, and coming to the council, they have the highest number of seats. If they are also given the mayor, actually, we are telling them to rule at their own disposal. This is what Panjai was trying to
What is your take on that?
I think there is a fundamental disagreement or a different view in the role of the mayor in KMC and what his job should be between myself and my brother here. I agree wholeheartedly that there should be checks and balances. But I believe that politics is not the way to create the checks and balances. I believe that systems within the governance structure of the UDP should create the checks and balances, despite whichever political party, whichever independent candidate, whichever individual, whichever Gambian is the mayor of KMC. So we should not look at a party or look at a candidate and say, because he is from so-and-so party, he is going to have free reign to do whatever he wants to do. No, we're looking for candidates who, despite their party affiliation, want to go into KMC and create checks and balances not only on themselves, but anybody who ever occupies the seat in KMC. So we have to be fair and honest in our opinion of everything. And I agree and I acknowledge the concerns of people about political parties maybe
Yes.
having too much power. But with Talib Bensouda, his philosophy has always been, before he even got into politics, that for an institution to run, it needs to have the correct checks and balances within its governance structures so that it doesn't matter which political party is in power because the governance structures are there.
Okay.
That's what we want to promote.
Thank you. Team Bakari, there's this rumor that your team members are being arrogant on social media. What is your take on that?
Okay, thank you. First, I just want to clarify my brother, because if he tells me that he has been a councillor for 10 years, 15 years, no wonder that is the reason why KMC has not gone forward. Because if you go to the Local Government Act, it's very clear. The mayor of KMC is given the right to nominate 5 people. A representative of the alcalos, a representative from youths, a representative of the business community, a representative of women, and also civil society. But you see, APRC for the past years have not been following, because I've never seen somebody who was nominated because he's an entrepreneur. And another thing that I wanted to clarify is I did not say Bakari brought in those projects. What I said, and you can go and verify from 2013 up to date, what developed. Just wait. Just wait. No, just wait.
Let's
I know APRC,
please.
APRC has personal anger against Bakari because just wait.
Your time will come. Your time will come.
Bakari is my younger brother, so I don't have any personal problems with
just
Bakari.
wait.
I don't have any anger against
Being in
Bakari.
opposition
Yes.
is
He's my
difficult.
younger
I
brother.
understand APRC Musulanyo most opposition, so opposition is difficult. I
We
understand.
will get back to you. We will get back to you. We
Just
will
calm
get
down.
back to
Just
you.
just
Yes.
wait. No, I'm not teasing you. I'm just telling you facts.
Yes,
Because, no, just listen to me. I'm just telling you facts. The thing is, I did not say Bakari brought in the projects. What I said, when he was there as head of the finance committee, that was the time when the council generated money to be able to serve the needs of the people. That's what I said. And you can go and check from 2013.
Yes, sorry.
No. I did not say that. You can
Let's
go and
maintain
revisit.
order, please. Majority
You can
counts.
go and revisit. I did not say Bakari brought in the project, because I know it is the councillors who develops their programs and then take it to council. I know that. But what I'm saying is, from 2013 to date, what development has KMC brought to the people? If not too much waste, we have markets that you call, places that you call markets. You go there, you don't even want to go and sit down there.
Malik.
That is all what you have.
Yes, Malik. Now, let's focus on
so
that.
now,
Yes.
the thing is, Bakari's campaign is a campaign of young people. And the fact is, we knew if you go to the number of registered voters in Gambia, 64% are young people. And these young people, the easiest way that you can get access to them is social media. That's one.
Okay.
So we knew we needed to have a very vigorous social media campaign. That's one. 2, we are not funded like other parties or other candidates, because for us, our campaign is self-funded. And you know, politics in Gambia is expensive. So the easiest way that we can do to catch up with these political parties is to dominate social media, and that's what we have been doing. But the thing is, especially APRC, they've been doing it deliberately, because they will go and fabricate stories, make audios, and send it to the Jola communities. You understand? But these are things that, if you listen to some of these audios, it went to the point they're going personal with Bakari's wife. You understand? And for me, I don't think politics should come to that level. So with regards to those kind of things, we'll never sit down and watch people go that way. What we usually do is to give out press statements to deny what they said. And you've never seen anywhere Bakari's campaign. I'm not saying individuals, because the campaign is big.
Yes.
So we have no total control of everybody, because some of these people that are supporting Bakari, we don't know them. But us as a campaign, you cannot see anywhere that we have demeaned any candidate, disrespect any candidate, or said anything negative about the candidate. Because for us, what we believe, no matter our political differences, we are family, we are brothers, and Gambia will always stay. And I think all the candidates have a positive interest of moving Gambia forward, or KMC. That's the reason why they're competing. So in the way we do it, we may have a different idea based on that. But to say this guy is this guy is that, I think those are done by people who have no plan and no agenda for the municipality. And I am urging all voters of KMC not to listen to those kind of people, because they don't have programs. So all they do is go and attack people personally, and that wouldn't take Gambia anywhere.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Yes, viewers, as I said before, you have them in front of you. It's the youth representative of each mayoral candidate. We will take a short break. We'll be right back to continue the discussion. Stay tuned.
Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day. Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day.
Time for us to conquer. Plus buton you fumpa lun wara def ñu def ko bu nangu sax mu romba ndax ñu ñoy nawi réew mi den wara express sun boppa spread peace love and light ndax lu baax leen wara sampa we've got the willpower for a good governance. We are the change that we want. Yeah, it's time for growth. I'm the loxo ci suñu development. Togetherness is the key. Lo liggéey rek ngay go. Manu kana kairai jak njutin kalo oli yakone Gambia isuka yolola malegena mia nuba jetate oli jimangut kapaji lor malegena mia nuba jetate oli jimangut kapaji lor.
Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day. Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day.
It starts by citizens engaging in day-to-day affairs of the nation. The situation is degraded. We all know what we're facing. One vote can change the way we live. One vote can change the way it is. One vote can change and determine the future for our little kids. All I'm saying is, if you know you're facing it, we can do it. Raise your fist. Please have your say in this. And it's time for us to demand the what we want for them. Transparency, accountability, and governance. We can do it collectively. Let's all reflect and see. Remember the remedy is peace, love, and unity. It starts with you and me. Long last, there is hope. Elections around the corner, so go out and vote.
Na ponte kelsen bentia, itolam sama alfalti. Nge karandi fadandula, ngadoko dila fuzibani fanafa.
Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day. Love to see my people coming together, where everybody participate. Just because it's a brighter day.
Wote na sonkodo, wote na piro, kokongol ma kasarema, wote jodo imo, sugumo wote na, tandaru fiko ositoma, you wonu uldo ala, oti malando, oyida imbe anda kona fata saremako, adda lampu, adda nyamdu, wada lawi, wada freedom of speech, ejego lorema.
Welcome back, viewers. It's the youth representation of each mayoral candidate right here on QTV. Yes, PDOIS has been in existence for 30 years, and you've not been able to win in elections. So why do you think that you will be able to win this KMC mayoral elections?
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, PDOIS is a political party with a sound programs and policies. And we believe that the Gambian people are conscious enough to choose somebody who will mantle the leadership of any viable position in the KMC. That's why we don't intimidate or we don't force people to vote for us. We just put our programs to you, and I think people do ask me this question, but I always tell them that this question should be thrown back to the Gambian people. Ask them why they are not voting for PDOIS. Because you go there, you ask people, they'll tell definitely they have the better program, they tell the truth. But why you are not voting for them? The question go back to the Gambian people. I don't think you should ask PDOIS. We have the program and it's there for the Gambian people to do. But maybe the level of program, the level of politics that we have in this country, that's why. But I see that no political party can tell you that PDOIS doesn't have the better program to move this country forward. For how many years we are telling you that, come on, we need to be self-sufficient in a way that we have all the mineral resources in this country. Just look at the fish that we eat, the river that we are blessed with. You just go to the river there, but you will just give lancing to people just to catch the fish and go. Only 10% of the fish out of the 100% is landed in the Gambia. 90% is going out of somewhere. We say put the land the fish here, create the factories, let's produce them and sell it outside. We are foreign exchange, create employment for the youths. And this is what we have been telling the Gambian people. All that, we tell them our tomato piece at the farmers, women at the gardens there. You create a cooperative bank, you go to their farms, buy them there, make them produce tomato piece, ice juice, and the other things. You create employment. This is what he has been saying. We say the government of the people, let the people have the government, let them have the say. They decide everything. This is what we are telling the people. So if people are not voting, you ask that to the Gambian people, not PDOIS, definitely.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, APRC, how ready are you in terms of youth empowerment? If KMC gives you the votes, what is in store for Gambian youth?
Thank you. Before I go into that, I think I need to say one thing here clear, that one needs to understand how council operates. And council doesn't operate based on political party ideology or whatsoever. Well, council is guided by laws of this country, by an act of parliament, and there is various acts of parliament that dictates the operations of council. You have the Finance and Audit Act. You have the Local Government Act that dictates the way council should administer and go ahead in terms of its programs and activities. I think one should understand that. So being a mayor from a political party or not does not have any relevance. There is no political influence when it comes to decisions of a council, because the decisions of a council comes from the councillors who sits at council and take decisions that are implemented by the administration of council, overseen by the mayor. The mayor is an administrator when he sits in his office. When he goes to general council, he is the chair of general council, and it's the general council that takes decisions that are adhered to by council.
Okay, let's talk about the APRC has, what Rambo Jatta has in store for the youth.
Rambo Jatta had a lot of programs and activities that is embedded in the manifesto. I don't want to go into it because he's going to launch the manifesto and he's inviting us. If you see, this is the copy of his manifesto, which he's going to launch. Everything is in this manifesto. His vision, or what he wants to do for the people of this municipality in various categories. It's not only the young people, even the kids. He has a program for them. He has something for them. The people with differently able, he has a program for them. These are all embedded in his manifesto. I don't want to go in detail because he's going to launch the manifesto. But to tell you the truth, Rambo has a lot for the people of this municipality. And I believe he got the capacity, he got the knowledge, he got the know-how, and he got the connections that he can exploit to move this municipality forward from where it is. And I will tell you, APRC have left legacy in this country that nobody can erase, in whatever form you take it. We have given development to this country. Development in terms of education, in terms of social amenities, in terms of infrastructure, you name them. These are things that are visible.
Yes.
As much as we have our own, opinions, but one has to recognize efforts being made by people.
Yes, thank you.
When they serve in office.
Yes, thank you for that. Yes, Team Bakari, you claim that your campaign is inclusive. Tell us about your campaign being inclusive.
Yeah, I think Bakari's campaign is the only campaign that is headed by a young lady, Nyamaseri. And whereas I've seen other candidates go around trying to convince voters that they should not give the mayorship of KMC to young people. This is a woman, a young lady. And we know in Gambia, usually leadership roles, we don't give it to women. But for us, because of the belief we have in young people, and we wanted to prove something. We are not just joining this campaign to go and campaign and win for KMC mayorship. But we want to prove to people that young people of the Gambia also can do something. What we need is for us to be given the opportunity and the platforms to show off ourselves. So this is a campaign that is headed by basically all the sectors of the campaign is run by young people. Yes, even though we have some elderly people that are behind the scenes and they give us advice and directions in terms of strategizing our campaign and all that. And this is the campaign that includes the people with differently able. And the day we first met them, you know, they cried. And I think I even posted the video on social media. Because what they told us was this is the first time in their history since their organization was launched that a candidate that is seeking public office, whether presidential, mayoral, national assembly, or whatever kind of elections, is approaching them and bringing them to be part of the campaign. And they sit in our executive, like C-Boy, everybody knows C-Boy. During our press conference, he was there, he was sitting on the high table and he spoke. He cried because he couldn't even complete, because he said this is the first time that they've been recognized and given that status. So it means for us, if you go into our campaign, you see young people, you see women, you see the elderly generation. And what is more fascinating about our campaign is all the political parties that are existing in Gambia. Their memberships, like especially their youths, are part of our campaign. And this, no political party can deny that. And the reason why, because we wanted, like, after 22 years of division, we thought it was important that we come together and bring people to heal. Because you can give justice is important, but also healing the people for them to realize, despite our differences, despite everything, we are all one. So that is why we ran a campaign that was very much inclusive. It includes everybody. And for that reason, I think we are not only here to campaign, but we wanted to show example that, you know, despite our political differences, we can all come together and, you know, support a candidate. And I think because of that, the people of KMC will vote for Bakar.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yes, Talib Bensouda, you are saying that you will raise $1 billion for KMC. How do you intend to do that? And if it is feasible, how inclusive is youth in that particular budget? Briefly.
So to make it clear, when Talib Bensouda was coming up with his manifesto and all the assumptions and numbers that went into that manifesto, he sat down with a panel of experts from different fields to look at the KMC top through bottom, go through all the public files that KMC have, took the time, and this I'm talking about almost a year ago, and look at what are the possibilities for KMC. And the mathematics was straightforward. When you look at the KMC budget, what Talib was saying is the possibility to raise $1 billion is feasible. If you look at the residents of KMC, if all the residents, without changing the tax, the amount of tax being paid, but broadening the tax base, number one. Number two, making sure that the tax that's being collected is actually reaching the coffers of KMC, number two. And financially managing the tax revenue properly, you should be able to reach that amount. Inside his manifesto, they have come up with a strategic plan on how to get that number with actual benchmarks to reach these targets. And these targets are not things that people sat down and made up. These are panels of experts who know better than I do, as I am just a supporter, but better than I do how that can be done. We look at currently the state of KMC. We pay rates. The majority of us pay our rates. And if you don't pay on time, people come to your business, your place of business, to collect your rates. And a lot of that money does not reach the coffers of the KMC. This is public knowledge, right? There's no accountability. The shortfalls in KMC are tremendous. We know that in the previous government, despite the good people who are working at KMC's best efforts, they were strangled. There was only so much they could do because there was not enough finance. And for a company or a municipality to work, you need finance. And in order to raise that kind of money, you need somebody who understands how to raise and manage money.
Yes,
and that's
I've just been alerted that we have 5 minutes more. So I will just allow all of you to give your final words to the general public, as well as the representative of each mayor. Tell them that this is the Gambia. Election comes and goes, but Gambia stays. So tell them to come out and vote in their large numbers too as well, but a peaceful election as well is needed. Final words.
My final words are for all the voters. We are all one. KMC, after the elections, will be one. Let's vote for a candidate that we believe has the capacity to build the kind of institution that we can be proud of in KMC. Let's look at their track record, let's look at what they're promising us, and let's look at their integrity. All the candidates do want the best for KMC. It's up to you to decide who can actually deliver that.
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to say one thing, that for me, the 1 billion is not realistic. Whatever expert they bring in, because I know that some of the council finances have been eroded by government, so to get 1 billion, it's not there.
Final word.
And what I want to say is every Gambian, especially people living within the municipality, KMC, please come out in large numbers and vote for the best candidate. And I know the best candidate is Usman Rambo Jatta, who can steer the affairs of this municipality, who can transform this municipality to a municipality that is really addressing the needs and aspirations of the people of this municipality.
Yes.
Thank
Briefly.
you.
Okay, what I will tell you that definitely there is an act that governs the council, which is the year 22 act that was enacted, has the tool that will govern the National Assembly with the council, and with Adama in that office, that letter and the spirit of that council will be followed to the ladder, which will govern, because the laws that are there are very good and are perfect. And with Adama, we will follow those rules. And I'm urging all Gambians to come out and exercise their enfranchise and vote for the right candidate, and who is Adama Ba.
Okay, what I would say is we are here on a youth platform.
Yes.
And looking at the GDC, our motto is youth and women empowerment. And I can give you some facts. We have the youngest, parliamentarian by the name Omar Sise, who is just 26 years old. And we also have the youngest councillor by the name Alaji Sow, who is just 22 years old. So therefore, I think Panjai Girigara, if voted into office, will surely, continue the trend of youth and women empowerment. My final message would be, politics come and go, but at the end of the day, what is important is Gambia remains. We are all Gambians, irrespective of the political party that we support. We should always have at the back of the mind that this country belongs to all of us. That is why the GDC, we believe in an inclusive, system of operation. We don't only look at partisan politics, but we try to involve everybody.
Thank you.
And if Panjai also is voted into office, he will also continue with the trend of the GDC. We are action-oriented. We want to do something that Gambians will see before voting the GDC into government.
Thank you so much.
And if
for
Panjai
that.
also is given the chance, I'm sure KMC will be transformed.
Thank you. Yes,
into a better place. Thank
briefly,
you.
please.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come here and express ourselves. But I think the reason why people should vote for Bakari is because he has a proven track record. Even people in other camps, they tell you, Bakari is honest, he's disciplined, he's calm, he's smart, he's intelligent, but I'm not going to vote for him because we don't share the same political ideology. And I think it's time Gambians move away with that ideology and vote people based on competence, people who have clean track records, because it's important. When you are managing public finances, your hands needs to be clean. And I think on that day, 12th May, Gambians KMC residents will go out there knowing that it's the destiny of KMC that they're going to decide and vote for the most competent candidate.
Thank you.
Despite that, despite our differences, I call on everybody to know that this is politics. We can support, we can win and jubilate. If we lose, let's cry, but let's have the courtesy to call the person that wins and say congratulations.
Yes.
That's postman.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, viewers, this is all we have for you in this edition. But I always remind you, we are on social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Follow us, all like us. It is the new era in broadcasting. Enjoy it and live it. Till I come your way next week, it is the Youth Dialogue. Bye-bye from here.